When you meet your divine masculine and there is soul recognition, your divine masculine also knows that there is a significant connection. But the difference is the divine masculine becomes very fearful and they run, while the divine feminine, who then becomes activated, only wants to be more and more with their divine masculine. I'm Annalisa and welcome to my channel. So let's get into this. The activation that happens to the divine feminine is an incredible energy boost. The divine masculine, the boost is he takes off or she takes off. In this connection, the divine masculine can be male or female, and the divine feminine can be male or female. But the difference here is that the divine masculine is in a great deal of fear. They are afraid of losing what they have in their life, in the matrix. This is part of what all divine masculines go through. And as the divine masculine figures out that the divine feminine is not going anywhere, they cannot get the divine feminine out of their head. They continue to stay busy. They either stay in their relationships for a while, they look into getting into another relationship, or they stay busy in what they're doing, what's around them. They might even get involved in addiction. They might get addicted to going to the gym, working late, working extra hours, just keeping busy so they don't have to think about the divine feminine. And what's important here is the divine feminine begins to understand that this is an awakening journey. And this is when all the synchronicities begin to start for the divine feminine while they're going through a dark night of the soul. And this is not an easy journey at all, especially during this time. And what happens here is that the divine feminine feels so much pain, emotional pain, physical pain. They know that this person that they met that has activated them, which they may not know quite exactly what happened at this time in the beginning, but they know that this person they met is having a strong influence. And what happens is when you can't get this person out of your mind, 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, you're still obsessing over your divine masculine. You know this connection is significant. This is when all the twin flame information comes your way. If you need some help in really understanding this journey and you need some tools, feel free to check out my website. But here, the divine masculine is still busy in the matrix. When you're obsessing, they're busy. They're not thinking of you. You see, the divine masculine doesn't have the awakening that you do. They don't have that longing, that obsessing to be with you. That is not what they're feeling. Now here I'm speaking for the majority of divine masculines because they're just busy. They're not obsessing over you. It's quite the opposite. When you obsess, they take off. And that is just the way this connection is designed. And it is designed specifically this way. So as they separate, right? And the divine feminine is now in separation, it allows opportunity and time and guidance from their inner self to go inwards, to start understanding that this journey is not about your person, that this journey is about you. And what happens is it reflects all your core wounds. They all pop up to the surface, and there is no way that the divine feminine can run from the core wounds. And you'll be faced to deal with each one of them. And the core wounds are basically abandonment, feeling neglected, low self-worth, not loving yourself, and that fear of being complacent, fear of change, right? But it's all about you, divine feminines. It isn't about your divine masculine. They just happen to be the catalyst to awaken you to those core wounds so that you don't have to remain suffering and being reminiscent of those core wounds. You can now let them go. You can now realize that everything that has happened in your life, and I know that many have gone through a lot of traumatic experiences, but you can now understand that everything has happened for you and not to you. And this is important. And I know that's not easy. That is why forgiveness is a big part for the Divine Feminine. So everything is in your hands, Divine Feminines. It really is. And I say that because it's true. You are the creator of your reality, and you actually unconsciously created your divine masculine to come in and activate you so that you can start to rise back to who you are. And all the experiences that you've had was part of what you needed to go through, although it seems unfair. You see, we get programmed by the matrix. We get programmed to live a certain way, to know that we have to work for everything that we have. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't work. No, what I'm saying is to be the authentic version of you. And let's just say, for example, if you are a doctor and you enjoy what you're doing, you love helping people, you love your profession, then that is the profession for you. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that because we certainly need doctors on earth. But if this occupation is something that perhaps your father was a doctor and you were expected to be a doctor because it is in your family, and you start to realize after years and years that it really doesn't make you happy, it really doesn't fulfill you. And although you're being a doctor and you're helping others, there's still a hole in your heart when it comes to your career. And that is what this journey is pushing you to do, is to realize that once you're activated, you cannot run away from what's making you unhappy. And if this doctor doesn't at some point go inwards and begin to change, right? And begin to revise their career, that hole will remain. And until you begin to raise your frequency, you cannot have your divine masculine come back to you in the 3D, because the divine feminine has to be the most authentic version. And if being a doctor is not what authenticity is for you, for that doctor, then it's going to be very, very difficult in this lifetime to be in 3D union until changes are made, or until you let go of that fear and begin to really look inwards. And does that mean that that doctor has to change their career? Not necessarily. But what that means is perhaps there's a different avenue that that doctor can help others, or perhaps really switching the mindset and begin pouring love not only into themselves, but then into their patients that they're working with. So I invite all of you to really think about your careers. Is it something that's fulfilling you? Is it something that you can say, I really enjoy this? Now, needless to say, right, we are in the 3D, and there are always going to be days that are just neutral, that you're not waking up super excited and you just want to get through the day. And that is certainly normal. We are here as human beings having an earthly experience. But what we are forgetting too is that we are spiritual beings. And as spiritual beings, we are infinite and we are able to create what it is that you want. So this journey is teaching the divine feminine that it's all about your emotions. It's an emotional journey. It's about your vibration. So your emotions will dictate your vibration. Your vibration will dictate your frequency. And as your frequency rises, then you'll be guided to other opportunities. And that is where changes are made in your life. Because if you're staying exactly the way you are and you're expecting your divine masculine to come running back to you, it's going to be very difficult, and you will stay in that pain and suffering, which is not what you want, I'm sure. But the divine masculine here is Aware, yes, they are aware that when they met you, you are significant and they can't get you out of their mind because they are also getting reminded through various synchronicities, but they are not necessarily obsessing over you. They are keeping busy. And although that might not feel as though it's fair because the divine feminine goes through all this obsessing that they do, while the divine masculine, it appears that they're living their best life. They're in a relationship, they're getting married, maybe they're having children, right? So they're busy in what they're doing. But at soul level, there's no running because at soul level, you're already together, right? You're already together in the metaphysical. But in the 3D, all you see is separation, right? So it's kind of like having a wall. So let's pretend that there's a big wall here, and the divine feminine is on one side, the divine masculine, and everything that you want is on the other side. So at this wall, right, that is invisible wall here, as you navigate your core wounds, as you begin to love yourself, that wall is breaking down. It's become thinner and thinner and thinner. And as you do all this work, the wall will disintegrate. And when it does, you're one. You're one with your desires. You're one with your divine masculine. You're one with yourself. Your divine masculine is you. They're not separate. They are not separate. They came in as a reflection of what you are experiencing. So if you're experiencing hard times, they are reflecting that back to you. So they invite you to work within yourself. Your divine masculine wants you to work within yourself. They want you to love yourself. They want you not to need them. They want you to need yourself, to put yourself first, to put yourself on that pedestal. And you are worthy of being on that pedestal. You absolutely are. You are worthy of manifesting everything that you want. And that is a huge role that the divine feminine is learning, to be the creator with God, with the divine, with yourself, and to take back your power because you've given that power away to others. And now your masculine came in to let you know the power is within you. They will always be there. You can never lose your divine masculine because they are simply a reflection of you. If you need some help and guidance, I do have a website, so feel free to check things out.